These days, I can do anything from my phone. Book a vacation, order a meal from a 5-star restaurant, buy and trade stocks. But maybe the most amazing thing I can do is make my dirty laundry disappear and then reappear perfectly washed and folded. I have Rinse to thank for that. I just schedule a pickup in the Rinse app or at rinse.com. A Rinse valet comes to get my clothes, and before I know it, they're back, crisply folded and ready to wear. They even do dry cleaning, which is returned hanging in a nice Rinse garment bag. And with Rinse, my satisfaction is guaranteed. If for any reason I'm not happy, they'll re-clean my clothes for free. Best of all, Rinse saves me tons of time each week. That's time I get to do something I love versus something I have to do. So if you want to save loads of time by not doing loads of laundry, remember, there's an app for that, Rinse. Sign up now and get $20 off your first order at rinse.com. That's RINSE.com.
Welcome to the Dynasty Dugout Show, a podcast covering all things minor league baseball. Get a front row seat to the action with everything you need to know about the future stars of Major League Baseball. And now, here's your host, Chris Clegg.
What is up, folks? Welcome to the show. It's Friday. It's June the 6th. Made it almost to the weekend. Here to break down some more minor league baseball. I do apologize. No show yesterday. Just had a lot going on. I wasn't able to record the show. But again, we're back. There's plenty to talk about. I'll talk about some stuff from previous day as well, because I did go to a game on Wednesday. I'll be at another game tonight. So a lot to break down and talk about. So let's do that right off the get-go. We'll talk about Payton Tolle. We'll talk about Luke Sinnard, who I also saw. Pretty good pitching matchup. Maybe the stats don't tell that story, but pretty good starts for both overall, I thought at least. But first, the show's brought to you by Connect Roasters. Connect Roasters is Ian Happ's coffee company. They make an incredible blend of coffee. Great, smooth. However you make it, you'll love it. You can get the gold glove blend of their coffee, buy one, going 50% off by using the code Dynasty Dugout at checkout. We're also proud to partner with Chinook Seedery. We're the best sunflower seeds in the game. Chinook has a wide variety of flavors. I've shown you the last few days. I've had some sweet, some cinnamon toast. Yesterday, it was some lemon pepper with the Bobby Witt special edition. You can go get some Chinook seeds 10% off using the code Dynasty Dugout at checkout at ChinookSeedery.com. All right, right off the start, let's dive in on Wednesday because I had some live looks. Payton Tolle, Luke Sinnard. Payton Tolle struggled out of the gate. Now, this wasn't typical Payton Tolle. I have this bad thing where I kind of jinx myself when I'm talking to scouts, and a couple of my scout friends had not seen Payton Tolle, and so I'm hyping him up like his roam lineup's bad, like Tolle's going to carve him up. Well, what did Tolle do? He proceeded to kind of lay an egg in the early part of the game where it was pretty rough. He was getting hit extremely hard. He was not missing bats, and I was a little bit embarrassed. I've done this before. I've done this with Bubba Chandler early in his career, hyping him up to a scout. I did it with Nestor Herman this spring where I hyped Nestor to somebody who hadn't seen him. And then Nestor was terrible, at least for the first inning of that spring breakout appearance. But Tolle, man, he was hit around. He showed his typical stuff. He just wasn't locating and wasn't confusing any of the hitters, which I thought he was going to come out with like 20 whiffs against Rome, if we're being honest, just given the fact that that team's not good. Now, he worked through a scoreless first pretty easily, but then he starts the second with a walk, a double, sac fly, and then he gets out of the inning with 2 flyouts that were hit kind of hard. Third inning, starts it with a homer to Lisandro Espinosa. He hits Patrick Cloisy, and then a couple more runs scores 4-0 after 3 innings. Tolle kind of struggled a bit, but something changed in the dugout. I don't know what happened. I thought Tolle was coming out of the game. Like, that's where the point it was at. That's why he was bad. He comes back out in the 4th, and this man is on a mission. And I applaud. This is what I like to see when I'm scouting a prospect. When you can struggle like this, and you come back and dominate, that's exactly what he did. So Tolle recorded the final, like, he didn't allow a hit or a walk in the final 10 batters. So retired his final 10 batters faced. So 4th through 6th inning, retired everybody, and he retired, obviously, the last batter in the 3rd. He struck out 7 of those guys. Fastball for Tolle was sitting 94, 95 in the first 3 innings. He didn't have a single one below 95 in the third or in the 4th through 6th. He was sitting 96 to 7, like every fastball. It was absurd. You can see it, like he's revved up. He's missing bats. Changeup looked good. It was 88 to 90. It was a sweeper, 83 to 86, and then a slider in the upper 80s as well. So Tolle mixes those two sliders. Those a sweeper, more of a traditional slider as well. And he keeps hitters on their toes. He wound up striking out 8 batters. So to rebound like that spoke a lot of volume to me. I don't know what flipped, but I like the resilience I saw on the mound from Payton Tolle. Big flip switch there. So good outing from him. Luke Sinnard, he's somebody that I like. I saw him in single A, and he was dominant. Remember, he had TJ in the end of 2023. He missed all of 2024. Braves drafted him and knew he was having TJ, but he's come back this year and been really good. Sinnard's fastball's velocity's holding 93, 95, and it held deep into the start. He only threw 5 innings, but it held. He allowed just 2 hits, and one of them was a Franklin Arias double. But again, when we look at that, like it was a grounder down the third baseline and just honestly like snuck past the third baseman. So not a lot of damage overall. He did issue 3 walks, which was the biggest thing. Hudson White did have a double in the 3rd inning. Other than that, I thought he pitched really well. He didn't miss a ton of bats, but he ended up with 3 strikeouts. The concerning thing was the 3 walks. But at the end of the day, Sinnard was still throwing strikes efficiently, I thought. The command came and went. The splitter's nasty. I mean, this low 80s splitter, he was running it on righties and just making them look foolish, which I thought was impressive. But overall, another good start from Sinnard. He's 6'8" righty. He's not overly dominant, but he's a good start. Like he looks like a back-end starting pitcher to me, and that's a valuable prospect. Braves are probably going to push him pretty aggressively. Again, I think Sinnard's a good prospect. He's not going to be a stud by any means. Like if you look at Tolle's upside versus Luke Sinnard's upside, it obviously goes to Tolle, given that Tolle can hit 97, but he has 7'10" of extension. I think Tolle's slider is probably a little better, but splitter for Sinnard, really good pitch. You'll see it below, but like that pitch a lot from him. So those are the 2 standouts, at least from the other day when I was at the game. The Rome lineup was interesting because at the end of the day, they only had 4 hits. They scored 4 runs. It was a typical minor league game, like lower level minor league game, honestly. So when you look at that, it's like, this is interesting, but that's where we were. None of the hitters in Rome's lineup really stand out to me. We don't have any of them having a OPS above 800. There's only 3 that have an OPS above 700. That's kind of the deal with that lineup. And everything you know about Franklin Arias. He keeps hitting game after game. I think he's rocking a 14 or 15 game hit streak at this point. Antonio Anderson's looked good. Miguel Bleis has looked good. Let's actually talk about Bleis because last night Miguel Bleis had a 2-homer game. Is Miguel Bleis back? Maybe. Miguel Bleis is toolsed up for days. Like you look at the tool set that he brings to the table, and it's impressive. Bleis can hit for power. I mean, we've seen exit velocities up to 113 before. The 9th percentiles are always above average to plus. Like raw power is plus for sure. I think it's above average game power. He's above average to plus runner. Like he can really move down the line. He's efficient on the base pass. He's up to 11 steals, just 2 caught stealings this year. So he's pretty efficient when he gets going. And he's up to 9 home runs now after yesterday's 2-home run game. So Bleis did start the year a little slow because he had a quad injury early on in the year. He's really picked it up and looks good. So the question is Miguel Bleis going to make enough contact? Just being blunt, I don't like the swing. You could say that about a lot of players, like Christian Campbell, made it work, didn't love the swing. Bleis is really long on the swing. He gets extended out on every pitch, though. He struggles to stay inside the ball, and he pops up the ball a lot. Like his pop-up rate has increased. It was bad last year. It's increased this year, actually. But what is Bleis doing to get to the success? Well, he's on time more. He's pulling the ball more often. He's getting the air regularly. So his air pull percentage is really good. That helps. The ground ball rate is up a bit, but the fly ball rate and the pulled air fly ball rate is up. So you like to see that. There's no denying that Miguel Bleis is a really good athlete. He's got tools for days. My concern with Miguel Bleis is simply this, like, will it work? Will this work as he moves up? It's working in high A right now. And I'm not sure if it's going to work in higher levels. Like, it's a rounded swing. It's pop everything up, and it works when he connects. Like, he backspins the ball well when he connects, but he doesn't connect, or he's not making square contact all that often. So it's a little bit of a concern with me about Miguel Bleis, but again, he's looked substantially better this year than he did last year. I'll say that. And I've seen a lot of Bleis over the years, and his comfortability in the box right now looks way, way better. So again, if you want to get back in on Miguel Bleis, I would not fault you. He's a good glove. He moves well in center field. He's got power. He's got speed. It's just the hit tool. I don't know how good the hit tool actually is. Contact rates are actually down a bit from last year, what we saw. But at the end of the day, like, it's all good. I mean, Bleis is a little bit more selective, which is good. He's picking his spots a little better, and he's seeing more results. Remember, this kid just turned 21 years old. So he turned 21 in March. So he's still really young for high, even though he got up there last year. So again, Bleis is a top 10, top 7 prospect in that org, maybe higher. But how high should we go on him? I don't know. So Miguel Bleis, Boston Red Sox, again, somebody I've seen a lot of that you need to know about. A couple other hitters from yesterday, because we did have several two-homer performances that stood out. Obviously, just talked about Bleis, but who else? Well, there were several other really good performances. From a 2-home run standpoint, I do want to highlight Colson Montgomery. Colson Montgomery has been really, really good since returning. What has he done differently? Well, he went on the dev list. He was bad. And he hit the dev list for a week and a half, and he's come back a different hitter. His contact rates are and the contact rates were fine, actually. And the EVs were really good, even before he was demoted or put on the dev list. But it was a nice reset for him. There's some things that I've heard regarding his swing, some pressures that were being put on him from external people outside the org. And I think the dev list was a big wake-up call for Colson Montgomery. And now he's like, okay, let's just go back to who I was, because Montgomery's always been a really good pure hitter. Let's go back to who I was, and let's do this thing. And so now he's letting balls come to him. He's seen the ball at all fields. And then yesterday we have the 2-home run game. He's hitting the ball hard. He's hit the ball as hard as 115 this year. He doesn't need to force the power. He has a 9th percentile EV north of 108, and since he's returned from the dev list, it's like 109.7. So really high-end exit velocities for Colson Montgomery. So the contact rates are way up. It's like an 89% end zone since returning. The chase rate's down, I think, below 30%. I think 24% maybe I saw, and below 30% overall. And the overall contact since returning is like 79%. So Colson Montgomery, really, really good stuff. I think he's back. I really do. I really believe that it was a mental reset. He said, hey, I got to get back to being who I am. So Colson Montgomery, Chicago White Sox, he could be up pretty soon. And Cole Carrigg, we have to highlight. Cole Carrigg got a 4-hit game yesterday. He had a couple infield hits, but he's got blazing speed. He had another single into the outfield, but he smoked a home run the top of the 11th. So we're in extras, top of the inning, 3-run homer that he smoked. He does it all. Carrigg also hosed somebody out from center field that sent them to extras. It was a tag up, and it was Corey Rozier who was tagging him. Corey Rozier can run now. Seen a lot of Corey Rozier too in the Red Sox org. He can run. And Carrigg showed off a big arm. I think Carrigg's got like a 70 arm at least. He's got plus or better speed. He's got some good angles as well. The exit velocities aren't standout for Cole Carrigg. And the question is contact. The contact's actually way down from last year. He's striking out a near 30% clip. But Carrigg's an athlete. He can play all over. He's kind of settled in the outfield. I don't think he's going to play anywhere but outfield at this point. But Cole Carrigg is a dude, and you need to know that name. Let's take a break. Let's hit a couple pitchers, and we will get right back at it. All right. Back from the break. I want to talk about Adam Serwinowski right out of the gate. Adam Serwinowski is a local to me in Greenville, South Carolina. He played on a very good high school team that won the state championship several years ago, pitched alongside Mavis Graves, who's in the Phillies org. And when you have two big lefties that are 6'5" in high school, you're unlikely to be beaten. And they had some good hitters too. They had David Mershon, who's in the Angels org. They have Peter Mershon, who was younger at the time. He's going to be drafted this summer most likely, or head to Mississippi State. There were some dudes on that team. Anyway, Serwinowski, first year of pro ball, full year last year, went to single A. He has ups and downs. It's good stuff, good fastball, good slider. And Serwinowski got inconsistent results. Now, this year, he's looked substantially better. He lost his way a bit early in mid-May. So 4 starts in May, Serwinowski allowed 16 earned runs, if I'm not mistaken. I was looking at it. He had a rough go. I need to pull up the numbers. And he walked like 9 over that span. But he struck out 20 in 12 innings in those 4 starts. That was obviously good. Strikeouts were still there. You want to see that. But then he bounced back in a big way yesterday. Serwinowski struck out 9, He had 1 walk, 1 earned, 2 hits on the start in 6 innings. So a really good start from Adam Serwinowski. He is throwing strikes at a higher clip this year. The strike rate is up to like 63%, which is pretty good. His quality of contact has improved as well. He's allowing less pulled balls. He's less predictable. And we're seeing some improved things. Now, Serwinowski is allowing some more homers this year. That can be fixed, I believe. He's allowing some more fly balls. So we'll see if that gets fixed over time. But Serwinowski is an interesting arm because he's got a good fastball. Like, they can really get on hitters, funky release. And he's got a really good slider as well. I think it's a plus fastball plus slider. So if the command's average now, looking at a good arm. Serwinowski desperately needs a better changeup. If he can further develop that changeup, then all of a sudden we're cooking. It looks like it could be a really, really good arm. He could be a top 100 arm. Would not shock me a bit. If you look on the surface, Serwinowski has a 5.12 ERA, a 1.37 WHIP, and that's across 38 innings this year. He does have a near 33% strikeout rate and a 10.6% walk rate. So Serwinowski's first pitch strike rate's up 10 percentage points. Great. Love to see that. But I think Serwinowski could be a dude over time. Let's see where it goes. Tobias Myers went down. He dominated. Shocker. He needs to be back in the majors. Hopefully he gets it right. Garrett Edwards of the Rays. This is an interesting prospect. I've seen Garrett Edwards twice this year. I saw him in the first start of the season on opening weekend when Bowling Green was down in Greenville. Also saw him pitch in Spartanburg. Garrett Edwards is interesting. 11th round pick out of LSU in 2023. And a $500K bonus, so an overslot bonus for the 11th round, where the bonus is $150K. So he got well over slot. 53 innings this year. Edwards has a 2.68 ERA, and he's got a 104 WHIP. He doesn't strike out a lot of guys, but he's got a 23% strikeout rate and an 8% walk rate. So you like to see those things. And Edwards had his best start of the year by far yesterday. He went 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. So Edwards is interesting. I look at him, it's like, okay, this guy, and honestly, like, when I watch him, like, okay, this guy can pitch. Like, there's pitchability there. It's not like overwhelming stuff by any means. Like, it's going to pull up the numbers from what I saw when I saw him earlier in the year and what the pitch data was like for Garrett Edwards. Because honestly, like, I walked away and was like, I feel like he should be a little better than what the results showed. Like, his fastball worked like 93 to 95. And honestly, like, I thought there were some decent traits from like a IVB standpoint and stuff like that. He was an interesting arm to at least follow. Now, the fastball, I'm noticing, did tick down. He was 91, 93 in the 5th inning of the first start that I saw. I'm just like, okay, like, you want to see a little more from that. But it was a pretty good changeup. I did know the changeup was pretty good. It was in the upper 80s, 86 to 88. I think he was down to some 85s by the end of the game, but I thought it looked pretty good. That was a pitch that kind of caught my eye. And the slider, good as well. Slider worked in the mid 80s. It was 85, some 87s in there on that pitch. Edwards is an interesting arm, and the results are coming. Again, he's a college arm. He's in high A. We do want to see a little more at this point, but Edwards has not pitched a lot. So that's something to note, that Garrett Edwards has missed a lot of time injured, and we're already up to 53 innings this year. That's huge. 53 innings in 11 starts is notable, considering Edwards didn't miss substantial time last year, and he pitched just 13 innings in the minors. So he's pretty built up, and to go 6 innings, I thought was pretty notable here. So good stuff from Garrett Edwards yesterday, who had a career best start. Keep an eye on him. I just, like, he's an interesting arm, at least. And so when I saw him a couple times this year, I walked away and was like, yeah, there could be something here. Cameron Weston of the Orioles might be on the verge of a call-up, so keep an eye on him. He's a fascinating arm. The Orioles actually have a slew of arms that are really good, but Weston might be the first one up because he's in AAA. He has been in AAA all year, and all the surface numbers, 4.31 ERA, 1.34 WHIP. Weston's good, and there's a lot to like there in this profile. It's a deep arsenal. We're looking at fastball, slider, change, split, cut. So pretty deep. And he had another good start yesterday. 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. He'd have 5 hits, 2 earned. But, Weston's got some dominant stuff. The Orioles need arms. What's to say Weston is not up soon? He's 24. He's been in AAA all year. We're looking at 54 AAA innings this year after a dominant 109 innings last year. We had a sub-3 ERA and a whip right around 1. So Cameron Weston's an interesting arm. Might see him in Baltimore. Name to know if you want to stash. I don't think he's like must stash right now, but we're getting closer to seeing Cameron Weston in the majors, I think. And Troy Melton. Got to note Troy Melton, who I love Troy Melton heading into 2024. Then he was kind of bad last year. And I was like, okay, what's going on now with Melton? And then he comes back this year and he's been rather impressive. So Melton made his first AAA start. That's notable. Tigers organization. He had 4 2/3 innings, 7 strikeouts, no walks. He did allow 2 homers, but that's really, he's only allowed 3 homers all year. So was it a AAA thing? Was it location? I don't know. I don't want to write too much home about those 2 home runs. But again, Melton has looked significantly better this year. That's a major encouragement for me that we've seen Melton take those steps that I really thought that he can make, because this is somebody that he has the ingredients where he can be really good. Jonathan Rodriguez hit a home run. Milan Tolentino hit a home run. So, Jonathan Rodriguez he's a power hitter, so not shocking there. But Melton, his fastball's averaging 96 this year. He's up to 99, which is notable. He spins it pretty well. He gets good vert on it. He's on a cutter in the upper 80s, around 90. He's got a slider in the mid 80s, changeups 88 to 89. Some good pitch traits with Melton where it's you can certainly see the potential. And hopefully Melton gets to the majors. I think he's on the verge of getting to the majors soon with the Tigers. And he's 24. This is somebody that has top 100 pedigree, honestly. Fastballs plus the way it works. You look at the pitch data on the fastball, and he can really spin it. He creates good ride from the release point. It's a good offering, and he missed a lot of bats on it yesterday, which was really encouraging. He's got a couple secondaries. The curveball has really good depth in the mid to upper 70s and good sweep, so 2 plane break there. Changeup has 10 to 15 inches of fade in the upper 80s, around 90. So again, that's a good offering. Honestly, you could classify the cutter and say it's cutter and slider blend at times, but the cutter does have more carry than the slider more depth. But Troy Melton's a guy that you want to know. I think he's a good arm. Watch out for him. I think that's going to do it. Thank you for tuning into the show today. Appreciate all the support. Hope you have an awesome Friday, and tune back in tomorrow. We'll be back with you then.